Welcome to Flory Models daily vlog. Here we are on Thursday the 30th already, crikey, of July 2015. Another month whizzing past. Right, okay, today is completely been upside down for me. Normally on a Thursday it's review day, as you know, and I usually put up 2 or 3 reviews that I record during the morning, get them edited, get them up to you. I do this bit and away we go. Because of obviously we've got the Geek Meet this weekend and I really wanted to get this thing to almost completion. There's no way I'm going to get it done, but I wanted to get it halfway there. I elected to skip doing reviews today and push on with this, and also I knew that lot was coming about, which we'll speak about in a minute. Now the thing is, what I've done today is, because I wanted you guys to see this, it's halfway there if nothing else, I wanted to get this thing up on its gear and put together so we can actually see this in all its glory. And as you can see, I have managed it. I've literally just put it on its wheels. I've still got a ton of stuff to do, don't get me wrong, we've got lots to go on this one. But in today's video, which I've done, I'll get edited up for you probably Monday or Tuesday next week. We've talked about other weathering techniques to go along with what we did in yesterday's episode, where we were sanding back paintwork and fading paintwork through texture, roughness, and obviously downright ripping it up, okay? So in this particular one, we've gone on with like using the wash in that scratching and using it to work with everything else we're doing. And that's the whole point to weathering. You should be in a situation where all your weathering products work together. You don't want something that's like, then you seal it. You really want it all to work. So by sanding down the paintwork causing texture, we've given a grip surface for the wash to stick to. So then the wash is stuck onto, as you can see it on here, and probably over the overhead you can see down on this wing. And then that gave us our sort of foundation then for chipping work. So we've done chipping on this, and hopefully you might be able to see on the overhead, we've got down here, I've got little bits here, there and everywhere. And to be honest, it's all over this generally. But that's the thing is, like with chipping, I find it's too overdone. I think people go too far with it, so I try and keep it quite muted. So after that, it was coming in with dry brushing, and then you would think, well, why would you use dry brushing after you've done all those things? But this is when it gives us great textures, like we get in the overhead, we can see it down here, fading back decals and making them look like they are just part of it. And to be honest, these lighter areas on this wingtip, this is all dry brushing right the way over, and it's on the underside. Okay, so we've gone along and we've done a lot of dry brushing work just to blend everything together. Okay, so the chipping effect, if it was a little bit too strong, shall we say, by going over it we can knock it back. And a good example on here was on this panel, some work down here, but generally it was just a case of going around, and you know, if you can see, we faded everything back a little bit, and that is literally done by chipping work. But hopefully you can see on the more detailed shots, you see this on the overhead, you know, by going around and doing little chipping works just to highlight certain areas, it really does bring it to life. And then obviously it was just a case of, right, okay, after that, going through all the motions of everything else that goes on with this one. So it was a case of, right, we started to put it together, tried to get it onto its gear, did a lot of work internally, because obviously we had to put in all the wiring and the bits and pieces for the wheel wells. So they're done yet. Still got to wire the engine and the cockpit and everything else. Still got to do the gun bays, they need to be wired, detailed up and everything else. So we still got fair amount of work to do in here, and obviously we've got to make it run. I've still got trouble making this run. The shaft isn't right. I'm going to replace it with brass, and hopefully that will well, fix our problem, because at the moment it's not exactly brilliant. Other little things we've done which I'm really happy is these little gun covers, which is a little technique which is pretty straightforward. It's literally just a case of airbrush cleaner rubbed over pigment. And it gives you this type of effect, which hopefully when these guys, which is this one, that's that one on that side, will go through, and this one on this side, this is probably going to be the outer, go in. Hopefully they're going to look very sort of metally, very grubby, very sort of cordite has burnt it and all those types of things. Okay, so that is the plan with those. But generally, I'm really happy how this one's coming together now. I'm probably going to be another 2 parts on this one, I think, so I'm going to show you in depth about wiring and that, but definitely coming to the conclusion on this one, which is a nice touch. But generally, really am pleased with it, very happy with it, and I love doing the weathering on that. The other thing you've noticed behind me, these turned up literally about an hour and a half ago, so I fought like hell, and I was sweating like hell here to get these in here to show you right off. I'm going to do a full review on them, but basically this is what we've got coming in. So these are very nice. They're on ball bearing runners as well. These don't just, like, you know, they're very nice, very smooth, and they click in place. They actually lock. You've got a lock on these. Multiple drawers, multiple widths. So we've got 3 ones at the top. These are all lined as well with thick rubber, which is quite a nice touch, and everything else. It's fully lockable. I've got them here and they're not on wheels. I'll show you the reason why they are not on wheels. Because, you know, you might think they just look like black cabinets until you see the wheels. This is a wheel for those. These have 4 on the bottom of these. If you see these things are absolutely mad. These are like so totally over the top, I think, but I suppose if it was loaded with tools, it's going to be quite heavy. These are absolutely amazing. These things are, really, really good quality wheels. They've got a lock on them as well. Originally, I was going to have them on wheels, thinking that I could pull them around because they have a handle on them, or you can bolt multiples together. It's got a facility where you can actually link these together and have a handle just at each end. So you can have one giant one, or 3 or 4, I suppose, and bolt them in, and then obviously you have wheels on the bottom. It seems massively over the top for what I need in here, so I've elected not to actually put them on the wheels, which is a shame because these are actually fantastic wheels. Very nicely done, very nice piece of kit. 200 quid each, not cheap, but from my point of view, a fantastic investment. Very nice. They come with rubber on the tops as well. You also get tons of these little drawer dividers. These little plastic castle type things. You've all seen them before, no doubt, but I'll just show you. But these are the ones where you put them in the drawers, and then you can actually drop these in on top of them, something like, just to show, just in here like this to segregate your drawers and make them off. You actually get an absolute ton of those, which is a nice touch, and everything else. So I must admit, very impressed with them. Great service, next day delivery, turned up. They're just a little bit bigger than I thought they were going to be. I'm probably going to have to push them down that way a little bit. Might still put them on wheels so they can sort of maneuver around a bit. I did have visions of having one over, but what I am thinking is I could replace the cupboards I've got under this worktop with those, and that would give me ultimate storage of everything I would actually need. But very nice. As I say, there's going to be a review. I'll do a full review on it with all the details of where I've got it from and everything else. But I must admit, it's something I've been after for an absolute ages, to have a system like this. And now I've got one. It's like, I can just fill it up with all the bits and pieces. We can label it up. I can have some order into this place and everything else. The great thing as well, because it's got nice flat rubber tops on there, technically I could put the A3 cutting mat on top, which is something I do at the moment. I tend to pick these up. If I show you, I have another one underneath. The reason is so I can slide one to the other. And we manoeuvre them around. So I've actually got 4 cutting mats and 5 now. Actually, I've got another one on the floor. So we've got 5 cutting mats over there. I've got another new blue one come in for actually doing this type of job, which comes in quite handy because if you've got all your small parts on here and everything else, it's quite nice. You can just slide it over. What I would like to see, if somebody ever wants to invent one, is, remember we got the mat over here. This is the one for the airbrush with the ridges around the side. I would love to see a A2 cutting mat with that on there as well. I know technically the practicalities aren't brilliant because when you want to wipe them clean, you're going to have an edge, but the amount of time you get those small parts that fly off. Also, the little ones that get stuck to your arm, you put your arm down, we've all done it, and then you take your arm away and it falls on the floor. If you had a little edge on, you'd brush it, and chances are it'd fall off as well. So I might patent this idea and manufacture them. But a cutting mat which has got an edge on it would be absolutely brilliant. So if you are in the industry out there, have a look around at one of those, because I reckon you'd sell loads of them. Certainly I'd have 6 in the studio here and everything else. So there we go, a bit of a funny show, not exactly the one you used to. Sorry we haven't actually got any proper videos up today, but as I said, next week I'm going to play total catch up. But as of tomorrow, there might be a small little news show that I want to chat together for you guys, obviously on Friday, have a recap at the forum, have a look at some of your great work that's happened in the forum this week and things like that. So we'll have a bit of a catch up with that tomorrow. So there we go, that's it for today. Typhoon on its legs, coming together, and my cabinet's arrived. Till tomorrow, everybody.